So I will write an example, a programming example to implement class templates. So I will just write the header file here, include IOStream, and now I will declare a class, but before that I will write using namespace std, or you can skip that also, you can just write it like this. So now I will create a template, and in this template I am going to write two variables. So I can use class as here instead of using type name. So I will just create two variables which has data type when it will be passed at the time of function call, and since we are using class templates, the data type is passed at the time of object creation. So data type is passed at the time of object creation. So the idea is very simple. We will just pass the data type to our class when we will create the object of that class. So in this template I'm going to write two arguments. In the previous case we have just taken one argument, but we will use two arguments here, which is class T and class U. So let me define the class here. Let's say the name of the class is A, and I don't know the parameter, the data type of X and Y. So let's suppose the data type of X is T and data type of Y is U, and I will pass the values of T and U, which is just the data type at the time of object creation. So let me make it public. So we will declare these two variables in the public section, or we can just let them in the private section, and we will create a public section which will display the sum of the two values. It will display the sum, or instead of writing the sum, I will just display the values here. So this is a constructor. We know that this is a constructor because it has the same name as that of our class. So now I will just end this class using the semicolon, and inside the main function I am going to create object of this class. But since this class will accept the variables should have some data type, so we know that we will have to pass the data type at the time of object creation. So let's see how we can do that. First of all, I will write the name of the class, and then similar to the function templates, I will just use this symbol, and then I will provide the data type. And since we are using two data types, I will write character and character here, and then I will write the name of our object. So let's write another example which will take integer and some other value, let's say float, and I will create the object B here. So you can see that we have created our class here, and at the time of object creation, I have passed two data type to our template, and these data types get stored in these two variables t and u, and then we are assigning these variables to, or you can say these data types to these variables in the private section, and in the public section I have created a constructor which will just display x and y. So let's quickly implement this in our C-line IDE. So I will just edit this code here and also this one. So first of all, I will create two template variables t and u, and now I will define the class A, and in this class A I will assign two variables in the private section. So you can see that if we are not using any keyword here like public private, it is private by default. So in the public section, what I will do is I will create a constructor, and we know that this is a default constructor and it will be called at the time of object creation. So now what we are going to do is we are going to display the values, and now we will create object, but this time it will be a little bit different. We are passing the data types to the class. So let's suppose character and character are two types, and then the name of the object. Let's write another example here that takes integer comma integer as the data type, and let's suppose this is another object B. So you can see how templates are so much useful. Like you just define a class and you can just assign template variables, or you can say that you can assign the template to the variables of the class, and then at the time of object creation you can just pass the data types. So it makes our code more compact and more efficient. So if our class is just same, but you want to perform this class, you want to create object of this class, but they should have some different data type. So this problem is solved. So let's run this program and see the output here. So after running this program, you will see this is an unexpected output, and the reason behind is that we have not provided the actual values of x and y. So how can we display them? So we have to pass some values to the x and y. So character values, let's suppose C, comma D, and instead of writing a default constructor here, I will have to write a parameterized constructor. And since I don't know the data type of these two variables, I will write t in front of them. So t will have character data type, and these C and D will get assigned to x and y respectively. Similarly, I will just pass 2 and 3 here at the time of object creation, and now we will see the output of this program. So you can see that now our output is CD and 2 3. So this is an example of a class template. So you can use templates in your program when you don't know what will be the data type of the variable, and you can just pass them at the time of object creation or function call, which we have seen here.